Welcome back to another episode with the area of self-compassion with depression. And this one is we're going to meet our inner critic. Remember, these videos are meant to help decrease the behaviors that we do not want, to decrease the depression that we're trying to decrease, and increase our healthier behaviors, increase the tools that we may have not had before, but now we have, and increase the way that we use them. Again, getting us to that best version of who we want to be when we see ourselves in the future. And knowing that we can get there one day, 1 week, 1 month, or 1 year at a time. And every day we get to start new and learn something maybe different, or just learn how to love ourselves just a little bit more. So welcome back to our episode 2 in our series, Softening the Inner Critic. And really this theme is awareness without blame. And so last episode we talked about why self-compassion actually matters, especially when you're living with depression. And today we're going to go one step deeper. We're going to meet the voice inside your head that often fights against that compassion. That would be your inner critic, thing that we definitely want to decrease in this life. So you've probably heard it before. You're so lazy. No one else struggles like this. Why even bother? It's harsh, it's constant, and it is exhausting. But here's the truth. That voice didn't appear out of nowhere. It has roots, it has patterns, and with awareness, it can be softened. In this episode, we are going to explore what the inner critic sounds like, where it often comes from, how to notice it without shame or blame. Let's begin by tuning into the voice many of us live with, but rarely question. So, what the inner critic sounds like. Your inner critic is the voice in your mind that judges, shames, or belittles you. It may sound like a running commentary on everything that you have done wrong, a warning that you're failing, falling behind, or disappointing others, and a replay of harsh things people once said to you, but now is in your own voice. It can be loud and it can be obvious. It can say things like, "You're a mess," if it's loud and obvious, or subtle and sneaky. "You probably shouldn't even try. You'll just get disappointed." So try this instead. Take a moment to think of something you've been avoiding, like a task, a conversation, or even some self-care. Now pause and listen. What does the voice in your head say about that? That's your inner critic. And just becoming aware of it is a first step toward healing. Remember, always becoming aware is the first step towards anything, because we cannot change what we are unaware of in life. So, where does this inner critic come from? Most of us didn't create the voice on purpose. Imagine us creating that voice on purpose. That would be really harmful for us, and something that as children we don't do. It is something that is very much learned. It often comes from our early experiences, like being corrected harshly or frequently, receiving love only when we were good or high achieving, being compared to others, shamed or misunderstood, growing up in a chaotic and unsafe or high pressure environments. It can also come from society, hustle culture that equates worth with productivity, toxic positivity that denies struggle, media messages about who you should be. And if you've experienced trauma, the critic can become a protective voice for us, trying to control or predict pain before it even happens. And I think we need to be reminded that our inner critic does come from our early experiences in life. And if we have little ones in our own homes, it's important to remember that we are helping them develop their inner critic or their positive voice. And we really want to create and nourish or nurture our children's positive voices in their heads. There will be many other instances or many other people in their lives that will help to nourish their inner critic. And at home, we do not want to be one of those for our own children. And we ought to just look at our own childhood experiences or our own adulthood or teenage experiences where that inner critic is pretty harsh, and to be reminded that that is not what we want our children to live with. So instead of asking, why am I like this? Try asking, who taught me to talk to myself this way? The goal, of course, is not to blame others in this. It's to just locate the origin of the inner critic so we can choose something different going forward. So now, where else can we go from here? Well, we can notice without judgment. So once you organize your inner critic, the next step is to, observe it, to not argue with it. Think of it like this. You're not trying to silence the critic. You're trying to create space between you and that voice. And when you notice a critical thought, say, I hear that part of me. I wonder what it's trying to protect me from right now. That's a judgment, not a truth. Or this voice is loud, but I can meet it with curiosity and not shame. So try this daily practice. At the end of the day, write down one thing your inner critic said. Then rewrite it in a form of compassionate lens. So let's say your critic said, you didn't do anything meaningful today. But your compassionate voice is going to come along and it's going to say, I rested today. And that's a form of healing. So you're not silencing the critic. You're introducing a new voice into the conversation. And so to wrap up and recap on this video, your inner critic is learned, not innate. It often formed to keep you safe, but now it's actually keeping you stuck. And you can begin to soften it with awareness, not with shame. In the next episode, we're going to explore how to shift from criticism to curiosity, learning to respond to hard moments, not with blame, but with gentle questions and presence. So if this episode resonated, I don't think I can say that word. If this episode helped you, I'd love to hear a comment. And here's a question to help you out. What's one common phrase your inner critic says? And what's a kinder alternative that you would like to try instead? And remember, you're not the voice that hurts you. You're the one learning how to speak differently. And I am so proud of you for that. So here's another section that I like when I get to talk about the journals I created in the children's book. And remember, there will be more journals and children's books to come. And these journals are really created with the end person in mind, the one who struggles and may need a little bit more help, to be reminded that they are actually an amazing person. And we all have our issues, and we just really understand them, become aware of them, and we replace them with better tools for the future so we can become the better version of ourselves. So in a world that moves too fast, what if you could create space to come home for yourself? What if you could do the same for your children? Start with your heart, the self-love, self-discovery, and self-discipline journal. It is your guided path to clarity, purpose, and showing up for a life that you truly do want. And when anxiety arises, meet yourself with compassion. The Anchored in Kindness journal helps you calm your nervous system, understand your patterns, and find peace, one breath and one page at a time. And of course, for those little hearts you love the most, meet Luna and Bravion the Lion, a magical story that helps children find courage, listen to their hearts, and trust their own glowing spark. A story of bravery, self-trust, and emotional wisdom with worksheets to help them at the end. And of course, they may need some help with those worksheets, but these worksheets should hopefully help them discover what is their courage, what is their bravery, and what is their spark that they have. If you liked this video at all, and if it was helpful, please like, subscribe, and share with anyone who may need it.